Hey, everybody, coming up on today's podcast, we got Overland Wars. Woo. Keith and I have been talking about this for a long time. Toyota Tacoma had just recently revealed that they're going to be bringing the Tacoma, the fourth generation Tacoma, out very soon in the middle of May. And they've teased a lot of information already, Trail Hunter, TRD packages, et cetera, et cetera. And then all of a sudden Ford says, hold my beer. And guess what? That doesn't stop there, people. Fisker's getting in on it. They've got something that you might want to take a look at if you're into the EV market stuff. Lexus, the GX, it's coming back. We got teased photos for that. It's an overlanding type vehicle as well. Cybertruck, Elon just revealed racks and systems for this thing. It's ugly as hell, but he's got stuff for it. And GM says, wait a damn minute. They're going to bring out the 2024 Colorado ZR2 Bison. That's going to be one bad mofo. All of that coming up right after this. Everybody, welcome into the podcast, the Counter Show, the best damn show on the planet. We are so glad to be here. We almost didn't make it. We got caught up in some information technology problem going on in the interweb, and here we are.
Jay, I gotta say, this is like the best of those 5 takes that you did. That last one was the best.
You want to know why that is? Because I'm a rock star. Nah. When you do it 5 times, you kind of get it in your mind when you know you can go live and pull off something successful there. So
we started this, everybody, with we're growing, we're implementing new things to the show, we're doing all these cool things, and I was having some issues with my Mac, and so I just assumed it was me. And we spent probably 15 minutes troubleshooting that. And then Jay went, wait a minute, let me try it from mine. And he tried it from his, and we had the same issue. So it's actually the streaming platform that we're using that we have a limitation we found. So
we've cracked a said nut, correct? Yeah. We have.
But at least it's not me. So
no.
Good to be here.
And that, by the way, I'm glad that we're able to pull this thing off today. We needed to get this in the get this in the can, if you will. There's so much going on in the overlanding part of our industry, man. Keith and I, we've talked about it ad nauseum, and you're going to continue to hear us talking about it because it is not going away. And it's like the Me Too movement, if you will, of the overlanding crowd. Wouldn't you say, Keith?
I would. Sorry.
Wait a minute.
Sorry, everybody. Won't happen again. Yeah, it's kind of the popular thing to do right now, and there's so much of that Me Too stuff that happens in the industry. Woo! Welcome to puberty, everybody. I don't know what's going on with me today.
You've been touched.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I'm glad. Like I love all this stuff they're coming out with.
I do too, man. It's fun to watch, and the aftermarket has just got to be just eating this up because they're having to really, really hustle to get things to the aftermarket for these newer vehicles, these newer platforms, that sort of stuff. And it's interesting to see it all kind of play out. And we noticed this at SEMA 2022. Of course, you guys all know, we've talked about it. Ford pulled out, GM pulled out, the big players. And, typically Ford would have these big, huge displays. But we noticed that the last year that they were there, physically there as a booth and setup and all that stuff, they devoted a whole section to their Ford accessories for the off-roading and the performance divisions, if you will. So it's quite interesting to see each of these manufacturers come in and try to capture a sector of the accessories for the off-roading community. But you got Toyota saying, well, we know who does it best. For example, they teased some photos of their Tacoma recently that we are anticipating to be out very shortly, or revealed fully very shortly, and they had an ARB bumper on there, right, Keith? I mean,
yeah, and
that's one of the finest examples of a partnership.
We're going to get to more details on that here in this podcast, so just make sure don't touch that dial. Yeah, man, and Toyota's certainly they're used to showing up late to the party. That's kind of their thing. So
it's kind of interesting to me. But here we have, right? So Toyota, they teased and teased and teased. We know there's going to be a TRD Pro version. There's going to be a Trail Hunter version. It looks like there's going to be a quad cab, and it looks like there's going to be a lengthy bed on one of them, which was to my surprise, because typically when you go longer on the wheelbase, you kind of you want to squeeze it down a little bit for that.
I mean, I don't know how you can tell all that from this picture, Jay, but sure.
Right. I mean, it's so interesting to me that you have this sort of stuff right in front of our eyes, but they won't give you the full meal deal, if you will. We're hanging on the edge of our seats. And that's another point I want to bring up in this conversation about these reveals, the teases. I mean, sometimes they'll tease this stuff in 2022, say, for example, but it won't go into production until late 2023 or early 2024. And I think that it kind of loses a little bit of its luster. So you better be bang for buck when you come out of the chute in production.
Famous YouTuber Doug DeMuro made a comment that you and I both heard about this, and it really stuck with me. Clearly, it stuck with you too, which is
absolutely.
If you don't know who Doug is, he's all over YouTube. If you're not watching this on YouTube, by the way, everybody, know that you can slide right over to YouTube, and there is now a podcast tab on our channel page, and you can get the full video of me doing this right now. For you guys that are listening.
So if you've just switched over to YouTube, here's a big hello. Hey, I'm waving to you.
Yeah. So they're shooting themselves in the foot, to Jay's point, by you make this announcement, then people wait several years. They're done. They've moved on.
Well,
you've lost the momentum, right?
You have. Could there not be a finer example than the Cybertruck?
I mean, at this point, you just need to stop, right?
I mean, wasn't it revealed in 2018 or 2019?
Yeah, yes.
Right? But yet Elon is still bringing these things to press conferences. In fact, there was a recent press conference in Texas at the Gigafactory where they're building the new lithium refinery, if you will. There was a big display of all the equipment behind him, and he drives the Cybertruck in with the new racking system on it. It had shovels on the side of it. So some could say that it's for tools and stuff. But when Keith and I see that sort of stuff, yes, that's typically for tools to get you out of a hard situation where you have to dig, shovels, et cetera. Maybe you run into a fire or something, or you are part of a volunteer fire department and you're out there and you got to have all that gear to kind of help put the fires out. But that's what's on the side of it, or on the back end of that Cybertruck. But still, there's really no just meat on the bone to tell me when, in fact, this thing is coming out. Not that I care, because if you listen to our podcast in recent weeks or the last couple of months, I'm just over it. I am so over the Cybertruck, man. To me, it is like, the General Hospital, right? The stories, or whatever you call them, the soap operas. It's the same thing
every day,
week in and week out, every day. Just it's the same thing.
Yeah,
there's nothing different.
Well,
anyway,
but at least we could say that, hey, even companies that don't have trucks out yet, like Tesla,
right,
have entered the Overland Wars, right? So
did I hear Lord's? Oh, wait a minute.
Even they,
no,
yeah.
They put their truck. The truck came out, guys. Let's just kind of give you an update on it. Oh, there is no update. They built 37 trucks, but they had to recall all of them. It wasn't that right?
I think
a
so.
recent podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know.
The good news is most of them were in use on their own facility.
On their own facilities, right? So, anyway.
so back to the Overland Wars, Jay.
Yes.
Pew, 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 pew.
So
yes,
this Tacoma, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Little bit late to the party. Here's what Toyota tells us we need to know. In fact, this is what Toyota says. Here's everything you need to know. All right.
Yeah.
The new Tacoma eagerly anticipated. Oh, stick shift. Stick shift.
So that's a bit for me. What stood out the most to me was some of the information that has come out about what is coming down the pike with this thing is the fact that they did go with a manual transmission on. We don't know which models, what trim levels will have it, but if you're an off-roader, you know it's got to be specifically for the off-road.
Unless it's just a really mean trick and that third matching pedal there is just like the parking brake. I mean, that would be horrible, but, you know.
It would be, but hey, you know what? Maybe Dodge can use that to kind of accompany their, their new fake exhaust sound in there.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
So,
but what I like, let's talk about features of this thing. So the features of this new Tacoma, it's definitely thicker, more like head first, if you will.
Thicker, like THICC, thick.
Yes, thick, man. And it's it's built for off road when you see some of the features that are coming on the TRD Pro package, and then of course the Trail Hunter version of that as well, with the silhouette photos that they showed us, Keith.
Yeah.
Or the silhouettes of that.
I'm still back at thick, man.
Yeah, you can definitely see the Trail Hunter versions with the racking in the back end. Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby.
All right, are you trying to have a serious conversation here?
Yeah, we're in the middle of a war, dude. I mean,
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
But what's been interesting the most to me about all of this, okay, and you can go to Toyota.com, their newsroom, and see this, or you can come right here to PartsCountyGuru.com and then click on the YouTube link and go over to YouTube and check this video version of this out. It is, I'm kind of over the silhouettes that they continue to show. I mean, I don't understand if you've got a reveal coming, why do you spend so much money on all of this? I'm hearing that someone through the back door was able to get a actual photo of the new.
So now it's like Apple leaks, right? We got people doing.
But Toyota killed the actual feed to that. So it's no longer available for us to look at, and it'll be available.
Yeah, they put basically a cease and desist because of copyright claim or whatever, and it took it down.
I get it. I do get it. But yeah, man.
Pew, 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 pew.
I love it, dude. And that's what this is. It's a pew 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 war. And let's get into that.
Okay.
Ford all of a sudden, Toyota makes this announcement that they're going to reveal on the 19th of May, which we are rapidly approaching. They said, screw it. We're just going to reveal the new Ranger Raptor, the next generation Ranger Raptor, now. And we're not going to wait on Toyota. We're going to go ahead of them and put our baby out there, which they just did. It's kind of cool, man. And again, we talked about the downsizing of pickup trucks and the oversizing of pickup trucks. Remember that conversation we had?
Yep.
We talked about Ford just getting bigger and bigger and bigger with their full-size trucks.
Yep.
Till we've run out of garage space now. So then they bring back the Ford Ranger due to popular demand. Then they go into the compact truck sizes. And so now when you look at a Toyota Tacoma or a new Ford Ranger, the new body styles, when you look at these things, they kind of are right there with what used to be the full-size pickup truck, in my opinion. And now there's rumor that Toyota is going to go to the market with a compact pickup truck, which is
Pew, pew, pew.
right. It's based on the old Hilux, if
All
you
right,
will.
hold up.
Am I getting just way
Hold
out
up,
there?
hold up. This Ford Ranger thing, the absolute coolest part about the announcement, by far, that nobody's mentioned yet, including you, Jay, is you got Bryan Cranston doing the voiceover. So, Breaking
the
Bad.
reveal?
Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. Yeah. Mr. White from Breaking Bad. Like he did the Bronco voiceovers for their commercials.
He did. That's right.
So he's now doing the Hold My Beer. We got something to show you for the Ranger, right?
Now, remember what I said. Remember what I said about the Toyota, and they're gonna have a long bed instead of shortening it up when they get to the quad cabs or extended cabs.
Well, they
They're
have
gonna-
to.
they're
Yeah.
gonna- right. Well, Ford decides no. On theirs, the extended cab and long bed gone away. Not happening. That's just what they're doing, and what they've done due to that, they've been able to change up the overall length and get away with it. Now, this thing is built on the same T6 platform as the Ford full-size Ford Bronco, and they're using basically the Raptor is basically a Ranger on a Bronco Raptor platform, right? Same thing. It's so you can and here's what they did to make this thing really work for you. By changing the overall length of this thing, your exit degrees and angles and your entrance angles will change with that. And so I think that's what Ford was trying to do here, was to give it a little bit more of that off-roading capability. Based on the numbers that I see, I don't see it being a rock crawling machine, if you will, but I do see it, being a pretty decent off-roader, especially if they're going to put the Raptor badge on it, So, interestingly enough, which seems to be the theme these days, Keith, is technology, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
the screens, they've got a center screen on this thing that, let's see, the size of the base center screen has been increased from 8-inch to 10.1. And then a large vertically orientated 12.4-inch screen is also available. The instrument cluster is digital as well, sized at about 8 inches. Like the Bronco is, they said, or the 12.4 inches. So that's interesting that in a off-road vehicle built for that you would have some of this high tech like this in there, because I don't see that in the Bronco. It's there, but it's not as like in your face. You know what I mean?
It's the same with the FJ, right? Like they kept it bare bones when they were doing the FJ. It was purpose built. But I think they've developed that technology enough in their other product lines. It's not that big of a cost to just slide it over into an off-road version. Because let's face it, like a lot of the Ranger, anybody that doesn't buy the off-road capable version, they're going to be more likely to want that extra tech.
Right.
That's a selling point, right?
Well, and with that tech, what you're going to get that 360-degree camera option as well. Now we saw that in use on a couple of vehicles. The Mach-E was pretty cool.
Yeah,
by the way,
it's neat.
We test drove one of those, and that was pretty cool. And then to physically see a person, on a screen, in real time view is so huge. I mean, in fact, I get why you have it, especially if you're an off-roader. It makes so much sense. But from a safety standpoint, it probably will save some lives too. Like let's say you've got a kid that might be out playing and you're backing out, and it's an alert and it lets you know, and you can physically see what's going on behind you. So that's a good thing. There's a lot of different things that Ford has done right on this thing, man. they're going to have a Ranger equipped with the FX4 off-road package, which is going to have the trail control, off-road cruise control system. The new Ford Ranger is pretty cool, man. I think it's going to be a hit for them, and it has to be a hit for them, especially when their largest competitor is going to be a Toyota Tacoma.
Yep.
Right.
So I was just looking at some of the specs here. I mean, it's pretty typical. I do like they're putting a 20-gallon fuel tank on it, which is great. Smaller trucks, sometimes that's a pretty big fuel tank. 405 horsepower. Now, doesn't say specifically. Yeah, it actually does. There's 430 foot-pounds of torque there. So that's for a smaller. I mean, am I allowed to call this a smaller truck, Jay? I mean, is that?
It's considered.
It keeps getting bigger, man.
It does. I mean, it's considered the mid-size truck, which it used to be a compact truck. It used to be, years ago. I mean, I can remember some of those early
man,
80s,
coming in at 5,300 pounds and change.
Oh yeah. Well, again, it's on the same platform as the full-size Bronco, so that has a lot to do with it. I don't know about manual transmission. Did you see that anywhere on that?
I didn't see anything, and so I think everybody, the thing to take away here is they're not saying at all one way or the other. Like, in terms of the transmission, there is very little information. It's a V6 EcoBoost engine.
Yeah.
But they're not getting into, that I saw. Here we go. Automatic is the only thing they've listed. 10-speed, select shift automatic. That's your only choice.
Isn't that crazy? That's very similar to the same thing that happened with the Bronco.
I think this is where, to your previous point, Toyota's being smart because they are appealing to a crowd that no one else is, and they're going to try to get a segment of the marketplace, right?
Absolutely right. And and here's what's cool about this, man, is that you can buy this new Tacoma. And if you buy the Trail Hunter package, you're pretty much ready to go. Outside of getting, the tools that you need to mount on the rack, and if you need a rooftop tent or whatever, those sorts of things. Which, by the way, guys, we're going to get into some. We want to talk to you guys about our brand partners as well that we have in place, and we'll get to some of those here.
Well, let's do it now. Why not
do
now?
That?
No,
okay.
no time like the present.
Let's go for it.
Some
man.
presents.
You ready?
Speaking of roof racks and accessories and off-road capability and, all those things that you just threw out there.
Yeah.
We got some options for that. So why would we mention this now? Why would we mention this on a podcast? Well, everybody, it's a great way for you guys to support our show. Right. Whether that's on the video side over at youtube.com/Parts Counter Gurus, or by picking up our podcast, which is also on that same site, or you can find it in the audio format at partscounterguru.com. Just click on the podcast links tab. Jay, I was doing so good and I stumbled right there in the middle.
Oh, you did perfect. You were perfect, man.
But we've got some partners here that we not only have links for you guys to use, and we'll put those on the mentioned on the podcast page, but you in some cases you get a discount.
Yes, and we will provide you with those discount codes. So we'll give you that list. We also have a contest going on, and I put out a quick video short to explain the rules of that. Any Helinox video, and Helinox, by the way, we love those guys. We're so proud to be a brand partner with them.
So think chairs, outdoor lifestyle, right?
Yes.
Take them to sporting events, take them to the soccer games, take them to the baseball games.
Beach.
They have a great stadium, like lawn chair that has longer legs on the front than the back, so it's made to sit on an incline. I go to a lot of like Moto America races and stuff where we're sitting on hillsides. They're perfect for stuff like that. And not to mention the fact they just make really, really solidly built great products. So
absolutely, and accessories to go with those
tables,
too, by the way.
Yep, all of it.
Yeah, and I'm talking
Cots.
accessories
Jay's
to go with those, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've got your little cup holders and your accessory
holders,
cases
little balls
and stuff
for the feet,
yes.
Everything to kind of protect the bottom of your tent if you're in a tent situation, or if you're on a sandy or rocky type situation and you want a little bit more stability with your chairs. They got all that for you. Now here's the thing. Since you're listening, the bottom line is that we have a little bit of a contest going on, and we're going to run this probably through about midsummer, we're thinking, but we're going to select one lucky winner. Now, hear me out, and here's how this thing works. Any Helinox video that you see on our YouTube channel, you can go to youtube.com/Parts Counter Gurus. Any video there, you can leave a comment. You can leave a comment on this podcast, but make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and our podcast. Leave a comment that you want to win or something to that effect, or just Helinox 40. Now, what does Helinox 40 mean? That means you get an opportunity to purchase all of your Helinox gear, one order. You get 40% off your entire order, and that is through us only. And the only thing that it does not work on is the accessories themselves, but your chairs, your tables, your cots, you'd be a fool not to buy these things. These guys are the ultimate when it comes to outdoor gear. They're strong, they're durable, they're amazing. All their material are proprietary to them. Yes, there's a lot of cheaper copycats out there, but I will guarantee you can talk to anybody that has been a long-term Helinox fan. They don't have to repeat buy because they're still working. So there you go. Make sure you join us and help us out and do that.
And 40% is a huge. You're not going to, I mean, especially on Helinox where you're not going to get any discount. So they just don't. It's a big deal. You can use that for one time for as much stuff as you can put in your shopping cart. And Jay said, use the code Helinox40. Let's get into a little bit more conversation and then maybe hit a couple of these other folks.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, sure. But back to Ford real quick. They released the Trail app for the Bronco owners, right?
Yep.
I put a short video out on that on our YouTube channel. Pretty cool. Quite a few cool features. It's exclusive to Bronco owners, so that's kind of why it makes it cool for Bronco owners, but there are a lot of second-party apps out there that work very similar and are good as well. But if you're a Ford Bronco owner, this is exclusive to you. Now, here's what's interesting to me. You've got the Ranger Raptor coming out, and it's built for off-road. Why wouldn't they put maybe, that availability for the Ford Ranger owners, the off-roaders? We'll see if they do that. Don't you think they should do that? Yeah.
I just like watching the competition. Competition is healthy for all of us, man.
Absolutely.
They're pushing each other to do better. I do like that. By the way, I think all versions of that Ranger, including the Raptor, are made in Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. So there you go.
Wow.
For what it's worth.
That's interesting.
I think as much as I could find on Ford's website, that's what I could tell.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, and I mean, I think you're going to start seeing more and more of that, Keith. I really, really honestly do think that you're going to start seeing more and more of that here in the U.S. Just because of the supply chain issues we were having also.
Yep.
And plus the demand for these things, the productivity's got to pick up. So anyway, cutting costs, and they're getting some breaks, obviously, from the government for keeping things here home in America. To produce, and that's a good thing. I don't got no problem with that, man.
I have a question for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
I know we're running tight on time.
We are.
Can we get? This is more of a challenge than a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get Fisker, Lexus, and the GM deal all rolled into about a 5-ish minute conversation, and then a quick hit on some sponsors? And
I think we can. I think we can do
I don't
this.
know why you're still sitting here wasting time, Jay.
Neither do I, man. So let's get right to Fisker, right? So Fisker again, this is another one of those automakers that we've been talking about for several years, and they keep saying we're going to go to production. We're going to production. There are people still waiting on the Ocean, right? So, but Fisker has revealed an off-road ready Ocean version, and it's ahead of the deliveries. It's called an Ocean Force E. It's an off-road version of its Ocean crossover. It's got 33-inch all-terrain tires.
This is insane, man. This looks
right.
This is.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's on 20-inch 3-spoke wheels, and it's got revised bumpers and all kind of unique little dampers and stuff on this thing. Supposedly, this thing should. Let's see. Okay, here's the thing. Again, just as everybody, they keep offering out these little details, but they don't reveal the whole thing. So not many details have been revealed, they say. 33-inch all-terrain, I mentioned. Produces 550 horsepower. It can also be retrofitted to any all-wheel drive Ocean Extreme or Ocean Ultra is what they're saying, the Force E package. Wow. So this package that they're putting on this thing can be retrofitted over to any of their other stuff. Now, see, that I didn't catch in the initial coming across this release, man. That's interesting.
I mean, just one more back and forth in the whole, it's not enough that Fisker's getting to the EV crossover space and they're trying to compete there. Now they're going, well, how do we also tap this over? Hey, man, let's get the outdoors crowd. We hear they have big expos and all that.
Exactly,
man.
They
got their own halls at SEMA. What can we do to get what can we do to get in on some of that?
Exactly, man.
I mean,
let's end right. But again, back to what we initially said when we started this podcast, Keith, is that we're talking about this stuff, but yet we still don't have it out of production or even in production.
Yep.
Fisker still hasn't started deliveries at this point in the U.S. They're stuck in the regulations and all that sort of stuff. It has to go through all these standardization. It has to pass all these inspections. EPA, CARB, which is California's emission standards. They're saying deliveries beginning in June, they're hoping for. So that's very soon, guys. Fisker plans to produce between 32,000 and 36,000 units of the Ocean, which is highly anticipated. And that's supposed to start around $39,000. And they're going to be releasing that over the course of 2023. So I don't know how long beyond that before we see this this off-road version.
Well, like I said,
Pew, 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 pew.
and again, to not be left out, here we have Lexus going, us too, y'all, us too. Wait, y'all hold my beer. We got one. So we have the GX, trying to appeal to potentially the same demographic. Everybody, we're going to be boxy, we're going to be burly. Now, you could argue that, okay, but this is where Toyota kind of went with the Tundra. This is kind of where they're headed in their general design approach for the next generation. But Lexus has typically always gone their own way from a styling perspective as compared to their Toyota brothers and sisters. When I see photos that are stock photos released by Lexus Toyota that have dirt all over the vehicle, that's not a normal thing. You want to show a polished vehicle. The fact that this is a dirty Lexus suggests to me Overland.
Right. Absolutely. And when obviously you got shared platforms, and I don't know what platform the GX will be on, but we know that
Sequoia and Tundra is what Car and Driver expects, right?
Right, which is basically the TNGA F platform, the truck platform, and it goes under the J300 Land Cruiser, the Tundra, like you said, the Sequoia, and the Lexus LX600. So it would make sense for them to use that. And if you looked at some of the teased images, you can tell this thing it's huge and it's ready to go off-road as well. So I cannot wait for the specs to come out on that, and we will talk about that probably in great detail once that hits the market. So or revealed forever.
And yet again, TBD. We'll let you know when we know.
Right.
I hope this doesn't backfire on them.
I hope it doesn't either. Now, look, GM doesn't want to be left out of this picture either. And they are, I mean, this is the company that has led the charge to go all electric. But boy, they are putting some attention in the overlanding market, and driven by internal combustion propulsion, not an electric vehicle. This is all ICE. This is not here yet. It will debut on May 31st of 2023. It is the new 2024 Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison. It has 5-inch lift and 35-inch tires on it, man.
Pew, 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 pew.
Right. What is up with this, right?
Everybody. I mean, wow.
I mean, what's going on here, man? Again, all you aftermarket suppliers for accessories, get your drawing boards ready, man, and get ready to start. You're probably already working in partnership to some degree with these manufacturers. I know that happens, but if I am an overlander off-roader enthusiast, you got to be taking a look hard at the 2024 year models, because I think we are in for an exciting year of those types of vehicles as we are revealing here to you today. It is definitely the Overland Wars, and I don't know how else to put that. And I don't think it's going away for a while. I think people have had enough of just kind of sitting around in the city, and they want to go off-road, even the ones that have never done it before. I mean, you've got your hardcore people out there, but you've got your people that like to get out on the weekends. This is going to be a hit. It already has been a hit. It's going to continue to be a hit. Mark our words. And we will prove that to you when we're at SEMA this year.
Pew,
What do you
pew,
think?
pew, pew, pew.
Now, let's talk about some more of our brand partners we got
Okay.
here, Keith.
Let me mention this because Jay's got to go, everybody, quickly. Jay's going to mention some of these, and he might throw out a couple discount codes if he's so inclined. If you want to find out the specific links you can use to get those codes to help us out to support the show, don't just go to their website. You gotta click through. Go to our website and go to the mention on the podcast tab. Here's where it is, everybody. I'll show you right here. If you go to the top, that's our website. You see that, Jay? That's our website.
I do. I see it. I love
And
that.
then there's a
Nice
mention
job,
on
by
the.
the
There's
way.
a nice video. It's about to change, but that's
Skinny
Guy.
Guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mention on the podcast right here, and when this episode comes out, click on that link and scroll down, and we've got them all listed right here, and you can just click through. And anything that we talk about on the podcast, we will put links on that page, and you can click right through to it. So,
Yeah.
please and thank you, everybody. Go ahead, Jay.
Absolutely. So there's a few other ones we haven't mentioned here. We talked about Helinox earlier. But for you overlanders, off-roaders, there's quite a few here. Decked USA, we're a brand partner for those guys. Again, the link will be in the description here.
Think storage for the back end of your truck, right?
Correct.
Truck boxes,
Yeah, and
rails.
We're talking
sliding on.
drawers,
Yep.
you name it. Yeah,
Yep.
yep. So whether you're an off-roader, overlander, or a construction company that needs the extra storage, these guys got you covered,
Yep.
man.
And
Trust
it's
me.
well built.
Yeah, and we will see them at SEMA this year as well. Our good friends over at Black Widow Pro. These are accessories for if you're an off-roader and you want to carry your ATVs, you want to carry some motorcycles with you, dirt bikes or whatever, quads, whatever you have that you can put on the back of that rig, or trail hitch carriers, ramps, whatever, to get these things loaded on. Black Widow Pro can cover you there. We've got an exclusive code for you that is exclusive to us only. Click on that link and then enter the code GURU15. That's GURU15, and you'll get 15% off your order. Same mother brand, if you will, Race Ramps, which is more geared towards the auto industry, if you will, for show cars, etc., those sorts of things, cribs, ramps, etc., for cars. Same thing, link there, click that, and we'll give you a special Guru 10 coupon code to use on anything you buy on there. Just enter that code Guru 10 and you'll get 10% off your order. Demos, and that's DMOS, they are shovels, all the tools, implements that you need when you're out camping. You need to clear a site, Or if you're four-wheeling or off-roading and you need to clear some debris out of your way, you got to carry that extra gear. They've got racks to mount that gear, just like the Trail Hunter package. They've got racks for that.
And they look cool.
They look cool. Gas can, gas carries gas cans.
I know none of you would ever just put gear on the sides of your roof racks and side racks and truck racks and bed racks for show. I know you would never do that. I know everybody that watches and listens to this podcast actually uses that stuff. But just in case, for those of you posers out there.
Absolutely.
It looks really, really good.
It's pretty badass, actually.
Yep.
It's pretty badass. So can't wait to do some demos, some video demos for you guys on some of their product, which is coming soon. So stay tuned to that. Couple of other partners. If you want to get out and spend the night or stay the weekend or stay 2 weeks, get off grid. iCamper, rooftop campers, and then also Roof Nest. Roof Nest is another option. They're a hard shell. I think they're all hard shell, or do they have soft shell as well?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know.
Well,
but
you guys go shopping and figure it out. Yeah, they got you covered.
I should figure that out for next time, Jay.
But we've got 2 exclusive links there for you that we'll have in the description as well, so make sure you go shop. What that does for us, guys, obviously it helps you guys at the end of the day if you're interested in buying this product. Where we can give discounts, we do that. That is exclusive to us. But most importantly, what it does is this helps our channel. It helps us continue to do what we're doing. And so if you do purchase something, just know we appreciate it very much. So have fun shopping, and now is the time. Don't wait till later, man.
So, Jay, all I'm seeing in the Roof Nest are the
I think they're hard shell. Oh, they're soft-sided?
I've seen bunch of soft-sided stuff here.
Okay. Well,
so yeah.
I know they have hard shell as well, and they've got other accessories and stuff too. So just just have fun shopping.
Yeah.
But we just kind of wanted to give you guys that quick link to go over to them, and by using those links, you help us out, folks. So there you go.
Yep, agreed. And when you get that new Fisker Ocean, this is going to be the perfect rooftop tent that's going to you can camp at the beach with those 33-inch.
Oh,
yeah.
If you want to see how the iCamper easy the iCamper is to install, Keith and I put together. We did an install for a real good friend of ours, Dave, on his Jeep Wrangler, and looked great, fit perfect for him, and he loved it so much. He shot a couple of videos and used for us, and he also went out and bought the iCamper Disco series, which is the disc grill, if you will.
Got a video on that also.
Got a video on that. So go to YouTube and sign up and subscribe and support our channel, guys. We really appreciate it. So that's it, man. I did the best I could. I know that was over 5 minutes, but
you did great, pal. Well, it's your time, not mine.
It's okay. I'm the one gonna have to run down the street.
You're gonna get yelled at. Yeah.
So
all right, let me help you get out of here quickly. Thank you guys for making us a part of your lives. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave us a review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. That also helps us out a ton. For my pal Jay over there, at least this time he's over there. I'm Keith. Here's your words. You're not going to get anything you don't ask for. Remember that. You get nothing. You get absolutely zero if you don't ask for it. Go out there, go get what you want. And in this case, we are asking you guys to support us by checking out the Mentioned on the Podcast tab. There you go. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
take care, guys.